football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. Boston Scott on the return from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. On first down, Sanders not finding a whole lot as he'll get forward for about 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. A carry here for the big tight end. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd down, back to Sanders. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Hurts. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. We're scoreless after 1. The Eagles on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8. Hurts. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Smith. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Hurts sets up to throw it. And he finds the tight end, Rodgers. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Here's Sanders. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
They'll run with Sanders. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson, up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They go back to Carson here on 2nd, and he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's Carson, and he'll get 2 or 3 out of that one as that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. They a reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Out to his left. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
So 1 first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on 3rd down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Buying time to his left. That one taken in by Dwayne Eskridge. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now it's Carson. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. And his throw is incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. He'll spot Eskridge open left side. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Wilson now off the bootleg. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
On 2nd and goal, Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson, as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive as they'll take over with just 13 seconds to go before the break. Escaping the pressure right. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. He'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Looking here for Smith downfield. And this one is incomplete. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And this will go to Carson out wide. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Got that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
They'll run on 1st down. Carson, and across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 42 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Working with a 2nd and 4. They run again with Carson. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
On 3rd down, it's Carson, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
With a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. That's going to set him back 5 yards. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. This is Carson. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Now they'll throw it with Wilson sliding out of the pocket. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. Touchdown! Gerald Everett, 39 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Scott on the return out of the end zone. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Another run here with Sanders. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 66 yards on the ground for him so far.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Look at this, a tight end carry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. They'll run. It's Sanders. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They hand off to their big tight end. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Talk about controlling the football and controlling a drive. And with runs like that, they'll continue to do exactly that.
Second and 2. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Rolling to his right. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Darrell Taylor in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22. He's back to throw. Man open right side. It's Rodgers. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. 50 As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear that the Seahawks are going to win this football game. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Carson, and he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Wilson to throw. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. So the victory here for...